The Short Take with Alex and Jake.
Hello, and welcome to The Short Take, the podcast where we talk about all things short films, apart from when we don't. I'm your host, Jake, and with me, as ever, is my co-host, Alex, who's chuckling over there in the corner.
It's a very funny joke, Jake. You should do that every episode.
I should, yeah. Maybe we should make it like our tagline or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce me?
Yeah, I said my co-host, Alex.
Properly.
Oh my god.
How I'm not chuckling.
With me, as ever, is my co-host, Alex.
That's me.
That is you. How are you doing this week?
I'm alright.
Good.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. Am I alright or am I okay?
You gotta make your mind up.
I'll get back to you at the end of the episode. We'll see how this goes.
Alright. Okay. So we're on episode 7, and this week Alex has picked a film, and the film is called Low.
It is called Low. Can I just say, it feels like we're not on episode 7. It feels like we're on episode 9.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, I just feel like we've done a bunch. And I feel like we did 2 other episodes and one was a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
No, I think you're wrong. I think you are. I think you're
I'm
misremembering.
sleep deprived. So I picked a short film called Low. It is as the title says, a robbery goes wrong. The description of the film is desperate. Jeff makes a bad decision. Unfortunately for him, the consequences are difficult to outrun. Which pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad.
I also want to
synopsis.
point out that Jeff is spelled with one F.
Oh, interesting. With a J?
Yeah.
Yeah.
J-E-F.
Okay.
So.
Alright.
But yeah, it was written and directed by Daniel Bogran. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. Or Bogran, maybe.
I think you've just deeply offended him and his entire family.
I kind of hope I have. It was also produced by him. I assume it's got a decently big team. Also edited by him, which I think is important.
Okay.
I want to talk about the
Yeah.
editing. Yeah, it had a decent little crew on it seems like. It's quite... I don't know what the budget is, but it's not super low budget.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. You said you don't know the
I
budget.
don't know.
do you?
There's no... I couldn't find anything.
Reasonable. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
do you reckon the cast and the crew, at least, is all like friends?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I think the cast are proper actors for the most part.
Yeah, I reckon so.
But yeah, the crew would assume people have come together to make this without... not hired.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Not paid.
Yes. Should we do good, bad, and...
Yeah, let's do good, bad, and nitpicks.
What do you think
seems to
good?
be becoming our thing. So good. I think that the idea behind the film is really, really solid.
100%.
Like the fallout of
Yeah.
a robbery. I don't think goes wrong is necessarily the
No,
right.
I
'cause
thought that as well. when I
That
watched
tends
it.
to be how robberies go. Someone tends to die, especially in America,
Yeah.
which I believe this is where this is set. Yeah, so I love the idea behind it. I think it's such a solid idea. I love the idea of films that kind of play off of the kind of standard story things. Do you know what I mean? Like a robbery, that is a very standard thing to do in a film. To play on the idea of the aftermath of that is always very fun.
Yeah.
Loads of films have done it. They all do it in different ways. I think this has a reasonably unique
Yeah,
take
100%.
to it. I think that the kind of like the general structure is okay. I definitely have some things I want to say about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I think it looks quite nice.
I think the production's high. I think the quality of it looks good. I think there are a few shots that aren't great.
Yeah.
I think generally speaking, I think I said this about Toast. It's really competently shot.
Yeah,
Like
I think
the
that's a
person
good. Yeah,
understands
it's a good
how
way
to shoot a scene in a way that works. So it's not bad.
It's well lit.
Yeah.
As you said, it's competently shot. I think
Yeah.
the camera work is reasonably good. Same as Toast, I don't think anything stands out.
No.
But I think it is competent.
Yeah.
I think most of the acting is pretty good.
I agree.
I think the lady behind the till is pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked her. I think I didn't like other aspects of her, but I liked her
Yes.
acting.
I agreed.
I liked her delivery of it.
Yeah.
The girl that was sitting with the guy, I thought she was quite good. I thought the
Yeah.
guy was quite good as well.
I think, interestingly, he's the best actor in it.
Yeah.
And I think he maybe should have been the main character.
Oh, maybe.
But I think
Okay.
not his character, but I think he should have been playing the main character.
Yeah,
if
I
that
know.
makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. You just think he's the better actor, so should have had the
Yeah,
lead.
which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because he didn't have any lines, did he? The main character didn't really have any lines.
I think he should have had less lines, but then we'll get to that.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately, basically all I want to say.
I basically agree with you. I think my big thing is the production quality is good. I think there's a slight problem with sound, more volume stuff, like mixing stuff, than it is actually the recording, which I think is interesting. So I think once you've achieved that, you've already got something that's watchable, which is good.
Yes. No, the sound sounds fine.
Yeah.
Same as the camera work stuff. Yeah. It's like, it's competent.
Everything works without being, without reaching a height, if that makes sense.
Oh, actually, I don't know if this is going to become a regular thing. I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to ask as a question. What was the feeling or the emotion that you were left with at the end of this film?
If I'm being dead honest.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay, emptiness.
But I think
it didn't fill the void in your heart.
No, I think I'll get to that.
Okay.
I think we can talk about why, but I think it's going to come under the other stuff.
Yeah, I think mine is disappointed.
Oh, okay. In the character, not the film.
Yeah, you're like, I'm disappointed in the decisions he made.
He did that, man. Yeah. Something else I liked was, I think, kind of going back to what you said about the structure. I think the person's trying to do something. Yeah. And I think that's good. Mm-hmm. I think
an attempt was made.
Exactly. I don't think the guy didn't like play it safe in the writing and directing of it. Yeah. I think he was trying something, and I think he clearly does have an understanding of good cinema, because I think there is stuff in there that, like, from an idea perspective, and I think it being competently executed again, but just not amazingly, I think it's doing something.
Yeah, I think the twists reasonably work.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's probably what you're coming on to with that.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think it's more like structure stuff with, like, when he's cutting and, like, what he's holding on. I think the fact that the film starts where it starts and then jumps to the shot of him on the sofa where he's answering the phone and he's finding out he doesn't have a job, and then it's him in the car getting ready to do the robbery. I think those cuts are actually showing a lot, like telling you a lot with very little in a good way.
Okay.
I think the use of also just doing the one shots of these things, like it's just a shot of him on the sofa getting the phone call. It's a shot of him sitting in the car building himself up, but you don't fully know what. Like, yeah, even though the fucking title of the film says a robbery gone wrong.
And he also puts the balaclava on.
I mean, before that moment when he's just sat there, and he's like, and you're like, oh, he's sad because he didn't get the job, and then he puts the balaclava on, and you're like, oh, okay, no, he's doing something.
Yeah.
If we can transition into the bad with that, unless you've got something else you want to say about it. Good.
No, I actually want to talk about that scene very specifically.
So,
bad.
I think the bad of it is that the robbery scene, while being competently shot for the most part, I think goes on too long, and I think with the pacing of the rest of the film, do you remember, this is going to be a weird comparison, Hero, the newer version, 2017?
Yes,
right?
I do.
The way that film told its story with one location, but with intermittent flashbacks. Do you remember that? It would keep...
Oh, the 2013 version. Yeah.
Yes, sorry. Mm-hmm. The newer one. Like, the newer version of the two. Most of it is him in the house talking to his dad.
Oh, right, okay.
But it keeps cutting back in time to stuff. And one of the things it keeps coming back to is him under the bridge and the bit where he keeps
I'm getting confused. I thought that was the old one. But I'm with it now.
Punching the wall, right? Mm-hmm. And the first time we see it, it's like something else. And the second time we see it, he kind of reveals about how he punched it and it broke. And then the people he saved turned out he actually put in danger and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
I really feel like the film should have taken place all at the train station with intermittent flashbacks slowly revealing something.
Okay.
And that being the robbery and what happened in the robbery. Because at first you can show that he robbed somewhere, and it can be... You could have it be he robbed somewhere and we see that the other person at the train station is the person who was there when he robbed it. So you're like, oh shit, he's worried about getting caught, right?
Yeah.
And then you can have it be revealed that he killed the other person, and then it's like another layer. Because it's like, a robbery is one thing. It's like, okay, you robbed somewhere. That's not great, but at the end of the day, not the worst thing.
These things happen.
Then, exactly. Everyone has their bad days. Then you reveal that he did the murder, and then it becomes a whole different thing, and it becomes even more tense.
Okay.
And then you have the reveal that the person there is, like, related to that person as a fucking final gut punch.
Yeah. I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a more interesting structure.
Yeah.
I think my takeaway from that kind of the same area of thing that you were thinking about.
Yeah.
There's too many surplus scenes.
Yeah.
There's too many scenes where nothing happens.
Yeah.
The scene where he's on the platform and he answers the phone and he's like, I'm not going to take this lying down.
That's what I was saying about the
Cut that.
You need to get rid of some of his lines.
Get rid of that.
It's stuff, you're just saying stuff that we inherently just will know. Like,
in my head, I think this has actually changed since you've been talking. My ideal version of this is the very first scene is him in the car, and he gets the phone call, and as he's being rejected from the job, he's pulling the balaclava on.
interesting.
It's like happening at like it's fast paced, you know, because the point of this film is the train station stuff. It's the aftermath of this the robbery.
Yeah.
You need to get in and get out with the robbery stuff as fast as you possibly can. You have to establish what has happened, but get it over with very quickly.
Yeah.
So have that scene, merge those two scenes, basically.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Have him be rejected, and he's like, okay, cool. And it's like, in that way, it's premeditated as well.
Yeah,
it's
which
like
is
he's like,
interesting.
if I don't get this job, I am going to rob somewhere.
Yeah.
And
which
I
is
think that's an
interesting.
interesting character thing.
You're right.
So he literally is pulling it on as they're rejecting him, and then he hangs up and he gets out of the car, and then maybe we cut to the train station, and then we start with the flashbacks.
Yeah,
I think
what
that's
you're saying.
maybe a more interesting way to do it. And you kind of get introduced. You still get introduced to the guy at the train station, the woman behind the counter, and she's sad.
Yeah.
I think you need to establish that she is sad. Maybe.
Okay, this is so I'm curious what you think about this. When I first watched it,
Yeah.
at the very first scene, when at the very beginning when we see her talking to him,
And we don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, knowing again because the title of the film says a robbery goes wrong, so you know there's been a robbery or there is currently a robbery. There was a part of me that's like, oh, she's scared of him because she knows either she's being robbed or she somehow knows he's the robber. Like the police are after him maybe or something like that, and she's like having to talk to him, but she's like, oh man, this person's like a robber / murderer or whatever.
Right.
The way she's delivering her lines, which is good, I think she's great. I think the problem is a direction standpoint, she's not giving off the right vibe. She's giving off a terrified vibe. Like she's like,
she's stuttering.
Yeah, like she's worried about this person.
Yeah.
When in actuality, as we find out at the end of the film, it's because it was her husband who was killed and she's sad. She's like going through something. But there's a part of me that wonders, is that the intention? Is that at the beginning we're meant to think one thing and then at the end we realise it's not that she recognises him or anything like that. It's that
it is obviously that. You're not meant to know.
Yeah,
it's
see,
meant to be a reveal.
I think that's fine to not know and to think, oh, she's just sad. But it's the fact she seems worried, so it feels like it's two completely different things.
My initial reading of that scene was that based on the thing that says a robbery goes wrong, that she was currently being robbed, and there was someone underneath the desk or something. That was my initial takeaway, and he didn't know, and she was trying to tell him someone is robbing me right now.
Yeah, but the title of the film isn't A Robbery Goes Wrong, it's Low.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, bad title card. I didn't like when that came up. When he goes into the shop and it just comes up in the corner.
I kind of liked it
No.
because it's about him hitting the lowest point in
I
his
get
life.
it. I just don't think it even needed a title card.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Maybe you could have done it when he's putting the balaclava on in the car.
Yeah, see, that would have been a better shot in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think there's something just weird about the one they used.
Because it's slowly punching in, isn't it?
I think so.
When he's in the car, I feel like it's slowly punching in. I feel like that's quite a nice shot of just his mindset.
I think the other thing is the actor who they've chosen, again, on kind of why I think the other guy's better. The actor they've chosen for the main character, he's not giving off character. Like, you can have actors deliver so much without saying anything.
Mad Max.
I immediately think of, like, Driver from Drive, right?
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling gives off an entire character with barely saying any words, just with his stance and the way he interacts with things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the guy they've chosen, there's something not quite right. I think they've chosen him for his look, because he does have a specific look. But
He looks like the part.
But he's not doing anything.
No.
And I think that's where I think the other guy, without saying much, he gives off more. And I think he's just more interesting looking for that character, like somebody. And again, I think the problem is the other guy looks like a criminal, which is a weird thing to say.
The main character.
Yeah. But the idea is clearly that it's someone who's reached their lowest point. This isn't somebody who would usually do this.
No.
But this guy does look like he would usually do this. I think that's the issue, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where I think the other guy's more interesting.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a pretty generic guy.
Yeah.
Or like a normal man, for like a better phrase. But like, yeah, I just think, and his acting when he does do his talking, like in the scenes, I think he's good. I think it could be rewritten. I think you don't need some of the dialogue he says, but I do think the dialogue he delivers really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of like stuck with me while I was watching it.
I think this actually hits one of the points I've written down, which is this film doesn't understand what it is.
I was thinking that the entire time watching it. It's like it can't decide what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that perfectly illustrates it, that they're like, they cast someone who looks like they do this for a living when that's not the story they're telling.
It feels like it's two conflicting things. It's like, do you want... I was thinking about this when I first watched it. Also, I think this is the first time we've ever done a crime film. I might be wrong. Another genre we can tick off. I think the closest we've done is maybe Red Handed, but I would argue that's more of a comedy.
Yeah, no, that's not a crime film. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But I think you're maybe right.
I think I'm right. But I think when it comes to like crime cinema, there's lots of kind of... I think within that genre, there are genres. And I think there's like a few different ways you can take it. And that's straight up comedy, deadly serious, comedy, but the crimes matter. Like there's something...
Yeah.
And then there's fun.
Okay, yeah.
So like think like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
It's a crime movie. It's not a comedy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And then a comedy being something like, I don't know, fucking... why am I blanking?
The Other Guys?
Yeah, like Let's Be Cops, the other guys. Like, it's just straight up, this is meant to be funny.
And then you got like Heat.
Yeah. All cops for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this film doesn't fit any of those things really. I guess it's kind of going for deadly serious, but I'm sorry, it's not deadly serious enough.
No, it's not at all. The scene where they meet again at the train station, actually, I didn't feel like it was tense at all.
No, and I was thinking that. I was wondering, do they want this scene to be tense? Because it's not. And I think it's meant to be more poignant, for lack of a better word. Like, it's meant to be that it's like, oh man, like, it's crazy. He's just standing next to the guy he robbed. He doesn't even know it's him. But it's like, it's not how it feels.
No.
It's a bit... Yeah, I think I can see what they're trying to do in it, which makes it kind of sad that it's not quite hitting it. There's a part of me that wonders if the twists are the wrong way around. There's a part of me that thinks, like, he should enter the train station and it should be that from the news or something, he knows that the cashier woman is the the wife of the guy he killed, right? And then he just has to go through that situation, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets on the train and then he sees the guy he let go and the guy sees him and it's a moment of, does he recognize him?
Yeah.
Should he have killed this man?
And that's where you leave it.
That would be a more interesting version of it, I think.
Yeah,
I think the way around it is a bit... like...
It's a bit wishy-washy. You have to, like... I don't know what it is, but there's an emotion they need you to hit in order for you to care. And I don't necessarily know that it does that.
I think it does. I think... Okay, I'm going to spoil a television show from the year 2008. So, spoiler warning. Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
There's the storyline in it where Walt allows a girl to die, choke on her own vomit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like to help himself, essentially. And then, obviously, we find out that her dad was an airline traffic control person. Because his daughter died, he kind of was in a bad place.
Dropped the ball. Went
to work, dropped the ball, and it ended in two planes colliding, killing God knows how many people.
Yeah.
And then Walt has to realise that. There's a moment where he looks at the news and he sees who it was who fucked up. And he sees that they were the dad of her.
Yeah.
And he realises that he is the reason all those people are dead.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to hit something in there.
In that vein.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to be... It's that thing of confronting something that's like, oh, shit. Like, this is my fault.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it doesn't. I think is the problem.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't spend... I think the more interesting thing out of everything is that he killed her husband. And that's the final reveal. But that's actually the more interesting bit. Him just being in a room with someone who he robbed. Like you said, it doesn't feel tense. But that is really the only thing it should feel.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to feel bad about that guy.
No, yeah, he's more worried about whether he's going to get caught or not.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel remorse.
But that's not what's happening in the film.
Yeah.
The film is trying to make you feel sad about the fact he robbed him. And it's like, or that he killed someone in front of him and then let him go.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the part. Like, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
I think is the issue.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, which, again, comes back to it not quite knowing what it is.
100%.
It doesn't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
Which sometimes... You know, it's hindsight, isn't it?
100%.
You don't know.
I've done that. I mean, the film that I haven't released yet, I still think when I look at it, I'm like, what I've clearly done here is rather than make a short film, I've made a scene. And like, which means it doesn't really have a beginning or an ending that work.
Right.
Because it's not I wrote it almost as like a part of a story rather than a story in and of itself.
Yeah. But you can do that in a film, though, in a short film.
You can, but I think it's, with the hindsight I'm looking at, I'm like, it's not as strong as it could be because of that. But that's just how it works, and that's why we make films, is so we can like...
So we can learn.
So we can learn, baby!
Yeah.
All films are educational films if you look at them the right way.
I only watch films for education.
I learned everything I know from Jaws.
Yep.
Yeah, I never go swimming.
It didn't teach me how.
It's really annoying, actually. I really thought I could. Is there anything else in particular on the bad side of things that you want to talk about, or?
Yes, there is actually.
Go on.
I think there was quite a lot of ADR,
Yeah.
and I don't think it sounded very good.
No, I think, again, though, I think that's the mixing more than it is the actual recording.
Yes.
I think the ADR itself is recorded well because it's clear, but I think it's too loud and like not mixed
Yeah.
into the scenes well enough to make it not seem like ADR.
I don't know if I'm just going mad,
Go on.
but I feel like there's a couple of bits of like Atmos where they kind of fade it in and out at weird points when people start talking and stop talking.
I don't think I noticed that.
I think it's in the most noticeable one, I think, is when he's doing the robbery. He's in the convenience store and he's like, I think it's when he's just like, the first line he says to the
Where he's like,
cashier.
hey, like, look at me. Or
Yeah, I
yeah.
think they cut all of the Atmos and then bring it back when he stops talking.
Oh, okay. I didn't spot that.
I may just be going mad.
Yeah.
Like, that might not be a thing. It might be because the ADR is too loud. But
There's definitely some of the ADR there. I
it
definitely noticed
felt
that.
a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was just him talking and there was nothing going on around him.
I think it's one of those things as well where we've just had two bits of dialogue from different... Like, we have the very beginning bit where he's talking to her at the cashier desk thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the bit where he's listening on the phone to the thing. And I think both of his audio are pretty good. But I think, especially with the conversation one, the actual sound of it is very different to the sound we get in the store, and it's noticeable because of how close they are together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that makes you more spot that it's ADR. You're like, oh, this isn't how the film sounded just now.
Yeah.
I think that might be what it is.
Very possibly, yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't spot it. I noticed that the ADR in that bit, and like I said, I think it's more mixing than it is recording. But yeah, I didn't spot the Atmos stuff.
No,
I'll watch
okay.
it again and have a look. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
curious.
And then also, I don't know if this is bad or not.
Go on.
Maybe it is nitpick, so maybe we should transition to
Yeah.
nitpick. Do you have anything else bad?
No. I think that's hit pretty much everything.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they were using very many like L and J cuts.
Ooh, interesting. So it was just jumping back and forth between.
Yeah, because I think
Possibly.
there are a couple of opportunities where I don't know,
Yeah.
like maybe it was conscious choice where you could have used sound really interestingly to like pair these scenes together,
Yeah.
and it just didn't. Like when it was cutting back to the train station after the I keep saying bank robbery, after like the store robbery,
Yeah.
and it just kind of cuts, and then there's a train, and then like there's a half a second gap, and then the train noise comes in or something like
Yeah.
that. It felt a bit weird.
I think I see what you're getting at.
There was a couple of bits like that.
I think it might be down to, again, that thing where it's kind of, and I kind of like it, where it's just kind of just skipping bits that you don't need to see. Him buying the ticket and then just cuts to the train sort of thing. I liked that moment because I was like, yeah, I don't need to hear other stuff.
Yeah.
And the bit where, like I said at the beginning, he gets fired and then he's just in the car and then he's in the store. I think the director is doing something with the fact that they're like, okay, these are the bits we actually want to see. How do we get around the stuff that we don't want to see?
Yeah.
And I think they figured that out.
Well,
But
I don't think they did fully,
Well,
but
not fully, but I think they have an idea which is good,
Yeah.
and they have. I think it's important to have that in your mind. There's a really good thing written by Elmore Leonard, the author, who, when asked like why he thinks he's been so successful as an author and why people like his books, he said, "I just stopped writing the bits nobody read." And I think it's spot on. But yeah, no, I do agree. I think the J Guts thing. I think there's definitely a lack of them in there for sure.
it's just like maybe I just mean more like the editing is
Yeah.
like
I think the
I
editing's
don't know.
not great.
No, maybe it's just a bit basic.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it definitely shows it's a director editing it, and I think he needed someone to like tell him to cut more stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of nitpicky stuff like that, I think the train shot holds for too long. at
There's
the
a lot of
beginning.
them.
The first one,
Okay.
he says something that it cuts to the train, and it stays in it for way too long. Like I want to say it's like 4 seconds too long, which in editing is way too long.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And the other thing that I wanted to say, two things, kind of the same.
Okay.
One, there's the moment that he's holding the gun at the guy and then he drops the bloody coin.
Yeah.
The dropping of the coin makes zero sense.
Yeah.
How did he drop it? Where did it come from? Why has it got blood on it? Because he took the money.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
It feels totally just like a thing they were like, that'd be cool. And they just did it.
It actually
and
took me out.
like,
I was like, what?
100% that's what I thought.
Like, where did... Because, like, the geometry of that scene is like him, the bag, the guy who shoots.
Yeah, so... Because for a second, I was like, has he been shot?
Yeah, I thought he'd been shot. Because, like, that's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, he, like, looks down and then he sees that, like, through the bag of money there's a hole.
Yeah.
And then he's been shot and he's like, oh.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, even that way around, it doesn't make sense.
No, it still doesn't make sense.
Because the bag is in between them,
Yeah.
so the bullet would never pass through a body and then through the bag.
Also, something we didn't talk about, and I can't believe we didn't talk about this. This is more bad than nitpicking.
Okay.
The bit where the guy dies, terribly shot.
Oh, yeah.
So much of the film is so competently and well shot. For that moment to be such an important moment and to be so badly handled, I think you could get away with, like... Because I think what they were doing is they just didn't want to, like, do the shot. Like, they didn't want to have the scene where you see him get shot because it's hard to, like, do that.
The sound as well.
Oh, it's
I completely
bad.
forgot about that. The sound is very bad.
It should be shot from the other guy's angle. It should be from the perspective of the other guy
The
who
witness.
lives, the witness.
Yeah.
Just seeing that from the... So the shelves are kind of disguising what's really happening. And just having the moment of him kind of jolting and being like, hey... And then you just say, boom, and then the guy falls and it's like, oh. And then, like, the guy just kind of look away almost. And be like, oh. But, like, yeah, I just really didn't like how that was handled. I think, especially with it being so important to what's happening.
Yeah, and I thought that the bit where he goes up to the witness and pulls the gun on him, and then the bloody coin drops and stuff, I was a bit like, what? Again, why is this happening? If you flip it and you do it from the witness's perspective and you see him coming towards you, that's a bit more threatening.
Yeah.
That puts that, like, that fear in, and it gives the scene a point.
Yeah. Have it be that he, like, from his perspective again, the robber goes to leave and then stops and then turns to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, he can't just leave.
Yeah.
And then he does.
Yeah.
But, and the other thing, linking into the bloody money. It's always linking to the bloody money. At the end, he has to pay this woman.
Oh, and he's paid with money.
Yeah, but how are they not doing a shot where he's giving her money that has blood in it? And it's literally like he's having to pay for his ticket with her dead husband's money.
Yeah.
That's like, how is that not the key shot at the end?
Yeah.
Insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine that when editing it, he was like, fuck! No!
Why didn't we get that?
It just baffles me.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Because even they have a shot of him getting out money. I just don't see at any point.
Again, they don't know what the film is about.
Like, oh shit, it needs to be money with blood on it to show that it's the money, especially because they show bloody money at the other bit. Baffles me. Baffles me.
I think, again, it's like they don't know what the film
No.
is fully, so they wouldn't have made that connection.
Shame.
I wish they had, though. That would have been a good shot.
I do think it's worth saying, though, it's very competently shot. I think it is a short film at the end of the day, despite the fact it gets a bit messy and a bit confused with itself.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good piece of, like, evidence as to something you can make, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For them.
I think one of my other nitpicks, the reason I put it in nitpicks is because I don't know what like I'd want from it, but setting it in a train station is so interesting, and I feel like you can do something with, so you know the last Harry Potter film, when he's like about to die or whatever, and he goes into the train station, and it's like,
King's
oh, you
Cross.
know, it's a place for, like, you know,
Souls
moving on,
departing
or
and
like,
stuff
yeah,
like
that
that,
kind of thing. Like, you can have that kind of
I know what you mean, like
vibe.
metaphor. Like,
Like a limbo kind of situation of, like, the limbo after this event has happened. Like, they're all stuck there, and they can't, like, they don't know how to move forwards. They can't decide what it is they need to do. You know, I feel like that kind of vibe, maybe that is something they were going for.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's, I don't know. I don't know what else I would want to make it feel like that, but that's what I want.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown, I think, is maybe the thing to say about it.
Yeah.
Low, more like letdown. Got him.
Yeah, that was rubbish.
Shut up! If you were shopping and this film came in and shot the cashier and then turned to you and held a gun on you, do you think it would shoot you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would shoot me.
I think it would too, because I think it would be confused as to what was going on. And I think it would be scared. And I'd be
Do you remember when you were making fun of me for making really weird ones of these at the start of the season?
Yeah.
And now you're doing it.
I have to. Get weird or die trying. Nice.
Yeah, cool. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Next segment. I'm going to ask Alex 3 film quiz questions. If he gets all 3 right, or if he gets none right, he gets an extra true or false question at the end.
Uh-oh.
Currently, he is winning. I don't know how much, but quite a lot.
Yay.
Question 1. Complete the title of the 2011 horror about a scientist's illegal human experimentations which star Antonio Banderas, the S-I-I-N.
Whoa, say that again? When you say the S-I-N?
So the S, and then a gap, I,
Yeah.
and then a gap, I-N. It doesn't make it clear where the start of a sentence is and the end. The start and end of a word is.
Whoa, wait. Could I look at it written down?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
It's really not clear where the start and end of words are.
It's really annoying because I think I know this, but I think it might be one I get wrong.
Good.
Carry on.
Question 2. In which recent movie did Adam Sandler play reckless diamond dealer Howard Ratner, who owed money all around town and risked everything in the hope of staying afloat and alive?
Okay, yeah, I know that.
I fucking hate these questions. Question 3. We're going to need bigger pants was the tagline of which recent comedy?
Recent comedy?
Yeah,
This is like this year, isn't it? 2023.
it is.
Yeah, okay, so it is a genuinely recent comedy. We're going to need bigger pants.
Yeah. Question 1. Do you know the answer?
Hang on. Read it again.
Complete the title of the 2011 horror about scientists' illegal human experiments which star Antonio Banderas. The S, gap, I, gap, in.
It's so annoying because I can picture the cover. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Also, the gaps in this are absolutely wild.
Yeah,
Like how they've written this down physically.
yeah. What, like looking at the answer and then looking at the thing?
Looking at the answer is absolutely mad.
Oh, fucking hell. I hate this.
Finally, a hard one for you.
It starts there, doesn't it?
Is the something
The splicing.
close but no
What
cigar?
is it?
The skin I live in.
Oh, fuck, I did know it.
So
Ugh.
what they've written down is the
Yeah.
S gap
Yeah.
I gap in. So they gave
can
you
I
the
look at it again?
They gave you the start of the word skin, but not the start of the word live. So it's the skin, I is the middle bit, then a gap, and then in.
That is the confusing bit. It's that. 'cause
The
then
S.
the I doesn't look like it could be a different word. It looks like the end of the first word, maybe.
Or the start of the next word.
Yeah.
It's very unclear.
Unfair. So
I'm
it would be
happy
a
about
different
that.
question for me, yeah?
No,
Uncut Gems.
obviously.
And then this one, can you read it again?
We're going to need bigger pants was the tagline of which recent comedy?
This isn't my answer straight away, but I'm just going to think aloud quick. Mm-hmm. My thinking is Captain Underpants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I don't know...
When did that come out?
That's
That was
what I'm-
really recent,
It
wasn't
was
it?
recent, but I'm really trying to think. Not many comedies come out now.
Dead genre.
It is a dead genre in a way. I think just because of TV. I think comedy lives on TV now,
Yeah.
as opposed to film.
There was that one with George Clooney at the start of this year.
That was bad. I saw that.
Did not see
Not
it.
good. I was really excited for it. I
The
love
one
it.
on the aeroplane.
Yeah, it's not on an airplane. It's on like an island, but
Oh, okay.
they are on an airplane at one point.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I was really excited for it. Julia Roberts and him. I
Yeah.
love a good like rom-com, but it was just bad.
Oh, that's a shame.
I hate to say this because I don't like the idea of it, but I think it is genuinely a thing of like woke comedy. Like where it's just like it's set on an island with like indigenous people and stuff, but it's too scared to like do anything. Like the
Right.
film's frightened of being funny. Like it's like, oh no, we can't make fun of like this other culture in any capacity, so nothing happens that's funny.
Have you seen White Lotus?
No.
That's very good. Not comedy, but it's very good.
It's funny, right? I've heard it's funny.
Yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Like it's not a comedy, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Funny to watch these rich people. Yeah. Anyway, answer to question 3.
Is it Captain Underpants?
It is not.
It's not. Okay, wait a second.
Okay.
I've got it wrong.
Can I tell you? When it says recent,
Go on, tell
it's
me the
more
year.
the last decade.
Fuck them. We're gonna need bigger pants.
Specifically 7 years ago.
7 years ago. What's the year now? 2023. 7 years would be 2016.
Correct.
Oh, I can't believe I did that.
Well done. Quick
That
maths.
was really that's so much pressure. On my
What did you
head.
get in maths?
A C, barely.
Nice.
2016 comedy. We're gonna need bigger pants. 2016. What the fucking films?
I think quite importantly, we're going to need bigger pants. Maybe not important. Not important.
Which is it? We're going to need.
We
So
are
obviously, it
going
sounds
to
like
need
Jaws.
bigger
We're going to need a
pants.
bigger boat.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. It's going to.
We're going to
Is Jaws gonna? We're gonna need a bigger boat, or is it we're going to need a bigger boat? I'm not sure, actually.
I think just because of the way he says it, I think it's gonna. Because it's a
Yeah.
character just saying it. Like, we're gonna need a bigger boat. I may be wrong. I don't know. The things that are coming to mind are like The Clumps, but that's not 2016.
It's a sequel.
To The Clumps? I knew it. Is it Big Mama's House, like 7? Like,
No, it's not.
we're gonna need bigger pants.
It's probably quite a hotly anticipated sequel.
What? Hotly anticipated sequel.
And I don't think it went down very well, but I don't
2016,
remember.
That's a comedy.
I was basically a child back then.
You were. Gross. Oh, for fuck's sake. What comedies came out in 20... No comedies were coming out. Comedy died so long, like 20... Actually, 2016 is the year that I think like the last good comedy came out in the cinema, which was Let's Be Cops. I don't know, tell me.
Are you sure?
Do you think I know it? I
Yeah,
mean, I
you definitely know
but
it. You definitely know
will
it.
I get to it?
It's third one in the series.
The third one?
I think the first one...
Is it Shrek the Third? I was going to say.
Shrek the Third came out in like 2008,
Yeah, I was going to say. It's
I
not
think the first
2016.
one came out in the early noughties.
Shrek came out in 2001. First
Yeah.
one.
It's not Shrek.
Fuck.
The first film is based on a book, as is the second film, but I don't think the third one is.
Is it Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
No.
Okay, good.
It's based on a classic book.
It's based on a classic book. Are you saying that sarcastically?
When I say based, I mean 10 Things I Hate About You based.
What?
So 10 Things I Hate About
It's a
You
Shakespeare play.
is a Shakespeare play
Yeah.
of Taming of the Shrew.
So
These films are...
Shakespeare plays?
No, they're books, but it's like, similar,
yeah.
similar ilk. What is the word? It's not based on, is it? Adapted from?
Yeah. I'm really trying to think what fucking comedy films came out in 2016. It's the third one as well.
I know.
Like, what's the time difference, do you think, between like this one and the last one that came out?
Probably around 15 years.
Holy shit, what is this?
Maybe less, but I don't like this series very much. I've only seen the first one, so I don't know.
Is it animated?
No. It's...
What live action comedies were being made?
There's 3 main characters, 2 men and a woman. The 2 men are incredibly famous.
What is this?
One of them has been playing a lot of villains recently.
David Tennant?
No. He's quite old now. They're all quite old now. The woman...
Is it American?
No.
It's British.
It's British. Definitely British.
2 men and a woman. We're gonna need bigger pants. We're going to need bigger pants. Fuck is this film?
The 2 men...
Yeah.
I know this is going so niche now. The 2 men were both in a film that was on both of our Christmas top 5 list.
What?
There was only one
We
film.
only-
There was only one on both of our lists.
No, it's not true. We shared a few.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. In the top 10.
Top 5 Christmas films.
Oh, Christmas. Sorry, I was thinking top film.
Yeah, no, we shared a lot
Christmas
in the top 10.
films.
There was only one.
Michael Keaton?
What?
Michael Keaton. He was in Jack Frost.
Yeah, I've not seen Jack Frost.
No, you said it was your favourite.
It's so funny to see you struggle. I'm going to have to cut
Is it
so
Somebody
much
in
of
Love,
this out.
Actually?
Yes, it is.
Well, that doesn't help. It's like
2 of them.
everyone in Love
2 of the
Actually.
men in Love Actually.
Is it Bridget Jones' Baby?
Yes.
Fuck that film. Oh my god, I hate... And actually, it hasn't got 2 of them in it, because Hugh Grant isn't in Bridget Jones' Baby.
Is he not?
Nope, he's
Oh, okay.
dead.
Is he?
In the film, there's a funeral, and the whole film I was waiting for the gag to be like, oh, he's not dead, he's a piece of shit who's pretending to be dead. And he's not, he's dead. Because I guess Hugh Grant was like, I'm never playing this character again, fuck you.
Yeah.
They're like, well, okay.
Alright, fine. I don't really like the films, so...
Bridget Jones one is...
The one's fine, but it's based on Pride and Prejudice, right?
I think so, yeah. The first
And the second one is Sense and
vague-
Sensibility.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the third one, I don't know if it's based on anything other than money.
I would
think-
agree, money.
Do you know what's interesting? I watched Bridget Jones 2 again recently after watching
What's the second one
again.
called?
Edge of Reason.
Edge of Reason.
And it's really interesting because it feels like it's a film that is incredibly sexist in its depiction of women. Especially the fact there's like a gay female character in it whose entire character, she's like, at the end it's a twist that she turns out she's a lesbian, and actually she's that Colin Firth isn't cheating on Bridget with her, and that actually she's like, no, Bridget, I love you. And then she kisses her, and Bridget's like, oh, well, that's lovely. Oh, okay, that's great. I'm gonna go back and see Mark. And then the female character who just told this Bridget that she loves her and kissed her is like, okay, It's like, I don't actually have feelings. I'm a lesbian. It's insane, but it's written and directed by a woman. I think it's maybe just more of a thing of the period of the time. But I just
It
think
wasn't even that long ago.
It was 2000. Bridget Jones' Edge of Reason was like 2004.
Crazy.
I know.
That is
Like,
crazy.
It was very interesting to watch.
Anyway, moving swiftly along.
What's the true or false?
Yeah, you don't get any points for these,
No.
but there's 3 of them. The Hollywood Walk of Fame was started to viral the now discontinued Las Vegas Avenue of the Stars.
Sorry, say that again?
The Hollywood Walk of Fame was
Yeah.
started to rival the now discontinued Las Vegas Avenue of the Stars.
True.
False.
Fuck, sounds right.
Mike Myers took his stage name in honor of the killer Michael Myers from the Halloween movies.
False.
It is false.
It's just his name.
Heath Ledger
That's true.
locked himself in a hotel room for a month to prepare for his role
Yeah, that's
as
true.
the Joker in The Dark Knight. Yeah, obviously true.
Obviously. Have you seen that movie?
It's very good.
He's just in a hotel room all the time. Whoa.
All right.
Well, that wasn't a good episode for me in that regard.
No, it wasn't. You got two right, one right.
One right.
Do you know what the last
And then-
one?
No, it took me ages, but I
Yeah, of
I guess
course.
everything.
Yeah. Sorry, it was so long ago.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so what should the comment be that people don't leave?
We actually got a comment on one of our shorts.
Oh, what was it?
Some guy was like, first and hi. Classic
nice.
YouTube.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, good job.
I'm proud of him.
First comment ever.
Yeah. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
We read some. Oh, no,
Yeah.
we didn't. That never happened. We hadn't recorded anything between now and last episode. The comment should be, if you were going to rob any store from a film, what store would it be? And then what film would you move that store to instead of the film itself?
What?
You have to rob a store from a film, but then you also have to take that store and move it to a different film. What film would you move it to, and what store
Okay.
is it?
Are you going for what film does it make the least sense to be in?
No, it just has to be a different film.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you. You can decide the caveat as to why you're moving it there.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to
Like and subscribe.
and then comment the thing that Alex said.
Yep. Until next time, you won't hear us,
But we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.